Hello and welcome to Alchemist Swim. I'm Alchemist Jen. Thanks for joining me on this fine day. I hope you're doing all right. Today's whim of the day is to show off some dyes that I did of some shirts and to show my doodle of the day, which I posted today. Yay! Our storms help us grow. It's a rainy day, so I was kind of inspired by that. So, yay! Yay for doodles! And here's some dyes. So I did some shirts for a custom order, and this is what I got. A little more purple than was requested, but I think it works out great. Some really great differences between the front and back, I find. Specifically on that one side, it's kind of fascinating to see how the dye travels through things and how it just decides to stop occasionally. So that's fascinating. And then this one, similar ideas. Really enjoy the way the pink is in the middle there. And just kind of the nod to some negative space on the sides. So I think that one's going to be really exciting. Really like this watermelon color that it kind of comes through as a nice orange there. It's always interesting to see how different fabrics will take up the dye. So for instance, same dye, a little bit, I mean, there's very similar fabrics. I mean, they're made by the same company even, but it's just interesting. Like that one looks like this, but it just shows up very, I don't even think I had that in the shot. It just shows up very self-reflection after the fact. It shows up very differently throughout the piece. So I just find it fascinating, just the whole thing with ice dyeing and dyeing in general. Just so many different factors will play into where the dyes go. This one was meant to have more white in it, so it's really, really nice, I think. It comes across as just being more delicate, yet still quite playful. So I think it's good. I find it really fascinating how the differences between the back side and the front side, just they really, it's good. I mean, in the sense that I think I planned that well, but the way the dye has landed and spread is just very different. So yay for dyeing. It's a blast. So it's your custom orders, so I'm excited to see how the recipient will enjoy them. So got some doodles. I think I'll do a little bit of knitting, and then yeah, I think that's the plan for the day. I don't have a lot going on. Just trying to have a nice relaxing evening, which is always very, very good to do. So I'll do a little bit of knitting. I got some yarn in, yay! So I'll be able to do some dyeing shortly. I have a show next weekend in Rochester. So I pretty much have everything I want for that. I'm trying to decide if there's any last minute things. I do have some fabric that I could potentially make up into some things, and I'm trying to decide how I want to do that. I mean, it's less than a week away, so I don't have the luxury of being able to do any print making on the fabric. So I could do some drawing. So I might see what I can come up with there. So yeah, it's just kind of fascinating. So I don't really feel a lot of pressure to produce more. I think I have enough for this show. And then I have another show at the end of the month. So I'll see what else I can make for that. And then I'm also going to be working on my my yarn for the cotton that I'm going to be using for crocheting. So I really need to come up with a little bit of plans to be able to do some patterns. I think I want to start with two patterns, put them into testing after I design them, and then decide how I want to dye the yarn that I have to be proactive with that. So that's really kind of my goal this week, is to come up with a strategy and a plan and way to execute that well. So I don't want to do it part way. I want to do it nice and thorough and have a really good launch. And so I really want to create the pattern and then be able to have testers. And so I don't have any testers right now, so I'm really at that starting point. So I just need to focus on what I need to do, work to gain that, but then also to advertise that I have these patterns. So I think I just need to focus on my social media efforts on that front, and having consistency with postings on that to gain more visibility and more of the right kinds of followers to help me do that. So I'm trying to be strategic about it. Advertising is, it's definitely challenging in making those connections with the people that could be my potential testers is kind of where I'm focusing there. I also have something I can play with, I think more software wise, that might help. Adobe has a Express in the beta stage, but it has some social media elements to it for being able to even like schedule postings and things. So I'm trying to, I found that exciting, which is really cool. And then just that, having something that I already possess, that can be a tool, and I'm already familiar with some of the formats of the different programs within that suite. So I'm really excited about being able to challenge myself and to examine some of the ways that I can grow with that, be able to use my awesome resources that I have and just elevate my online presence that way. Being able to schedule things might help me as well too, just because then if I have my doodle of the day, I don't have to necessarily do them like the day before or the day of like I have been doing. It might make more sense for me to and do a bunch on one day. So I'm trying to be strategic on that front as well. I like my daily practice elements. I find that my doodles are kind of meditative. So I don't necessarily feel like maybe I don't have to do them all the day or the day after that I do them. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out, but I definitely can be more strategic on a lot of my other postings. So yeah, so those are the things that I'm working on. And just trying to get my name out there, my stuff out there, and to, I guess, grow and try to figure all this stuff out. So that's kind of where I am right now. A lot of things that I talk about might make sense and might be valuable to you. They might not be, and that's okay too. So I just want to thank you for being here, and I hope that you enjoy listening to me ramble, because that is something that I definitely do. It's all just kind of stream of consciousness in that sense though, so whatever is kind of on my mind, and I definitely keep it on a more creative focus. It just really gives me a chance to process through some things, so that I'm being a bit vulnerable about it, but I also it's good to just talk through things. So it's an interesting way to document my process as well as my growth and redirection. I know that I've redirected when I got excited about something and then haven't picked it up again. So I don't think that's a bad thing either. I have a lot of different things that are just kind of waiting for the opportunity and the right things to line up for me to do them, and that's totally fine too, right? So as someone who is into a lot of different things as far as making them and doing them, there are things that will be kind of on hold for a bit while I get the right time to execute them, or the time to actually execute them. So, or the resources. Sometimes I don't have the whole thing to be able to do it, or the idea. So like there's many factors in that, which is cool. But everything's open and everything can go forward at any time, and I just have to be ready for the right time for that thing, if that makes any sense. So I did a couple of rows, show you some progress, right? Thanks for listening with me today. We'll see where the whim takes us tomorrow, and I hope you have a good one. Toodaloo.